Recursion in Java. What is the recursion? What is the definition of recursion and what is the recursion? Recursion in Java is a process in which a method calls itself continuously. Recursion is a method that is call itself continuously, it's calling itself, and a method in Java that call itself is called recursive method. Recursion and recursive, that is both are the same. That is recursion in Java. Java is a process in which a method call itself continuously. A method in Java that call itself is called recursive method. Note that definition. And what is the syntax? Syntax is the return type method name. What is the return type? Like it is a void or int or string, and the method name. Then the method block or the body. And then again, we are calling the same method. That is the syntax is the is to create and call the recursive method. Let's see the example. In that example number 1, we have created a class, public class recursion example 1. That is recursion example 1. This is the name of that class. And under that class, under that body of that class, that is from just this curly braces up to this curly braces, within that body or within that block, we are creating a recursive method. And how to create a recursive method? What is the recursive method? That is static, and that return type, that is void, and name of that method I have given here is P. And then that braces, that then the parenthesis. This is the syntax, that open and closing syntax of that, of identifying a method. In the previous session or in the previous class, we have discussed about that normal methods. Okay, and how to identify a method after giving that return or void, and that the return type. After giving that the return type and then name of that method, if I see or if we see that the braces is here, that means that is a method. And every method have their body or have their block, which is starting from this curly braces and ending with this curly braces. Within that body or within that block, we are just simply printing a message system.out.println, and a string is hello. And we are calling that method, that recursive method. And what is the name of that method? That is P. And we are calling that method again here. And because why we are calling? Because recursive method call itself continuously. A method in Java that calls itself called recursive method. And the syntax is, first of all, we need to give that return type, that is the void or the string, or that is the void or string or anything, or that was the return type. And then the name of that method. Within that block, we need to again call that method by using the name of that method. So I am doing the same thing, that is that we have declared that return type is void, and we have given name of P. And within that block of that method, we are just simply printing a message is hello. And again, we are calling, and the syntax, of a recursive method or the recursion, that is the syntax of recursive method. Within that, after creating a recursive method, after creating a method, when we are calling that method within that block, this is the block of that method. And within that block or within the body, I am calling the name of that method. That's how we can create and call a recursive method. This is the syntax, that is the return type, this is the P is the name of that method. Within that method block or within that method body, we are printing the message like the previous one, that the normal method, just like normal method, we after declaring, after creating a method, we are just printing something, some messages like that. We are creating a method, and within that method block we are printing a message is hello. And because this is the recursion, we are doing the recursion and we are creating a recursive method. For that reason we are calling that method. Within that method we are passing that message, we are rewriting that message within that body, within that method body, or within that method block. We need to call that method name again. Like how to call the method, we have learned about it, we have already learned about it, how to call a method. But we are calling a recursive method within the method block, that is here. We have called that method because recursive method is call itself continuously. Then we are doing what? Public static void main, that is the main method. That is the basic syntax of writing a Java program. Without main method, no nothing, that program will incomplete. So whenever you will execute the program, it will look for the main method. So that main method we have to create all the time, and that is the mandatory syntax. And after creating that main method, we are calling the recursive method, that is P. And with that braces is, we are ending the braces. This is the main method block and this is the end of the class. And what will be the output? That output will be hello, hello, and it will print the hello, hello. Because why it is calling the hello, hello? Because first of all, when we are calling that P, that means it will return the message is available within that method block is hello. Again, within that block, it will again print the P is hello. And after that, it will give that error java.lang.stack overflow error. Stack, why it is calling the stack overflow error? Because we haven't give any condition. So it will continuously, it will call continuously, it will not end. So it will generate an error, that is java.lang.stack overflow error. That error will show because that is become infinite. Okay, infinite times, because we haven't declared, we haven't give any condition that how many times that method will return. That is like we are declaring within that for loop, that is we have declared that int I equals to 1 and I less than 5 or I less than 10. That why we are declaring that? Because we want to run that program, we want to run that loop up to 10 times or up to 5 times, that we haven't declared in that program. So it will continuously calling, it will it will call continuously. So continue, after calling that continuously, it will give that error, that java.lang.stack overflow error, because we haven't mentioned that how many times that method will return the value. Understood? That is that the infinite times. Understood?
Yes.
Everyone understood or
স্যার একটা কোশ্চেন
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ বলো।
স্যার বলছি দুবারই বা মানে দুবার আউটপুট এসে তারপরে ওভার স্ট্যাক
না,
ওভারফ্লো
দুবার
আসছে কেন মানে
আউটপুট
একবারের পরে
দুবার
কেন আসছে না
দুবার আউটপুট আসবে না, এটা দেখো, দুবার আউটপুট আসবে না। ইট উইল, এই আউটপুটটা কন্টিনিউয়াসলি আসবে, দ্যাট হ্যালো 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 হ্যালো, বিকজ recursive method calls itself continuously when I am calling that method. Okay, within that block, look, প্রথমবার যখন আমরা এখানে যখন মেথডটাকে কল করছি, মেথডটা সোজা চলে যাবে এই মেথড, দ্যাট ইজ দ্য রিটার্ন টাইপ ইজ ভয়েড এন্ড পি। যখন দেখবে এই পি মেথডটার মধ্যে যাবে, কল করবে, তখন প্রথমেই ঢুকবে হ্যালো, তারপরেই দেখবে তার ভেতরে আবার পি, দেন আবার এখানে যাবে, আবার এখানে আবার হ্যালো প্রিন্ট করবে, আবার এখানে নিচে আসবে, আবার দেখবে সে মেথডটা কল হয়েছে, আবার এখানে যাবে, আবার মেথডটা ভেতরে ঢুকবে, দেখবে এখানে আবার কল হয়েছে, এবার হ্যালো প্রিন্ট হবে, আবার দেখবে এখানে আবার পি কে কল করেছে। তো কন্টিনিউয়াসলি এইখানে প্রসেসটা কন্টিনিউয়াসলি ঘুরতে থাকবে, বিকজ আমরা এখানে কোনো কন্ডিশন অ্যাপ্লাই করিনি দ্যাট হাউ মেনি টাইমস আমরা এই মেথডটাকে কল করতে চাইছি। আমরা কি করেছি দ্যাট ইন্ট I ইকুয়ালস টু 1, I লেস দেন 5 or I লেস দেন 10 or I লেস দেন ইকুয়ালস টু 10 or I লেস ডাবল ইকুয়ালস টু 10, এইসব ধরনের আমরা কোনো কিছু কন্ডিশন অ্যাপ্লাই করিনি। why we are using that condition? To mention that how many times we want to execute that part, how many times we want to execute that part. For that reason we are declaring that condition, that 10 times or 5 times or 100 times that we want to continue. But here we haven't mentioned any kind of condition, just we are creating a method that is a recursive method and we are calling it again. So when I am calling this within that main method, that we need to create a method. So after creating any kind of method, we need to create it now. We need to call it. After creating a method, we need to call it within the main method. And main method is everything in a program. That main method will be available in the every program. So like that, in that program also we have created that main method. That is the basic syntax of the Java program. And what I need to do after creating a method, how we can call a method, just by the name of that method. Like that,
It is
we have,
static, that's why I am
just
just
because this is a static, no, just because what is the difference between a static and the public? Static method, we can call a static method without creating an object. Without creating an object, we can call a static method. But public method, we can't, without object we can't call the public method. But here this is a static method, and without any object we are calling that method here. When we are calling that method, that static method within the main method, that is the syntax of calling a method. This is the basic syntax of calling a method. How we can call a method? Within the main block, we need to, by writing the name of that method, we will call that method. So this is the basic syntax of calling a method. So that's it. That's how we are calling the method. After, when we are calling that method, that means when it is saying, it is showing that seeing that that method have been called, so directly it will go to the method, that is the recursive method, that will go to the recursive method that we have created earlier. And after go to that method, it will look what is in the body of that method that I need to print. So it will print the hello. After printing the hello within the body, again we have called that method again. So it will again go to the third line and it will again print the hello. After printing hello, it will again come to fourth line. It will, because this is the way, because it will come first to that after calling, when we are calling in the number 8 number line, that is we are calling that method. When we are calling that method, it will directly go to the second line. And when it will go to the second line, it will look for the whatever is available in the method body, it will print. So within that body, what we have done system.out.println, that I am telling to print the hello. After printing the hello, it will come to line number 4. When it is coming in the line number 4, it's seeing that in the line number 4 again that method have been called. So when again that method have been called, it will again go to the second line and it will look whatever is available in the method body. It will, and whatever is available in the method body, and it is saying that to print the hello. So like that, it will print hello, then it will again coming that it is seeing that that method have been called again. It will again go to the second line, again it will print hello. It will again come to the fourth line, because within that body we have called that method again. It is calling continuously, and we haven't declared any kind of condition that how many times we want to print it. So it will continuously, it will print continuously, it will print continuously. After printing it continuously, it will become, it will never stop. It's like a ring. It's become like a ring. It don't have a ending point, or it don't have a starting point. It will print hello continuously. It will print hello, because it will, when it is coming to going to the method, that static void p, after it is entering in the method body. When it is entering the method body, first of all, it will find that the print ln method, that the print ln, that system sop is hello. It will print hello. After printing that hello, it will come to the fourth line. It will come to the fourth line. When it is coming to the fourth line, it again, it is saying that it is calling that method. Again it is calling that method. When again it is calling that method, again it will go to the static void p, that method. Again it will enter, like that it will continuously print. It is continuously printing, and again going to the home method. Again it will entering the method body. Again it will printing. Again it is calling the method. Continuously this process is going continuously. So after doing this continuously, it will become infinite. Infinite means, everyone, I hope everyone knows that here, that has no end. That has no end. So after printing it continuously, it will generate an error, because it have no endpoint. So it will generate that error, java.lang.stack overflow error, because it's became that stack is became overflow. Understood? Understood? Or anyone have any problem? Please tell me. Hello, everyone, please respond. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Understood? So
Yes, sir.
Once again.
once again, okay, no
Yes,
problem.
sir.
Okay, no problem. Look, just we have done the normal method. Today we are doing a recursive method. And what is recursive method? Recursive method is, try to understand that definition. Recursive method, a method in Java that call itself. That means in Java, that method is called itself. It is calling itself. It's calling itself. And it's called recursive method. And what is the syntax? How we can create a recursive method? In the previous session, we have created a normal method. Like, let me show you an example. Like, we have created a normal method, like with the parameters. Like in this example, this is the normal method, static int, and this is the name of that method, static, that the keyword int. What is the int? Int is the return type here. In the method, when we are writing
Integer.
int, integer type, it will return. Why it is a integer, is a variable. And why I am saying that this is the return type? Because in a method, we are declaring a method void. That means it will not return anything. And when we are declaring as int, string, float, that means we want to return a integer type value, or a return float type value, or a return string type value. That is why I am saying that this integer is integer return type, we can say. So this integer is the return type of that method. And plus method, that is the name of that method. And after creating a method, and this parenthesis, that is the identifier of a method. Within that parenthesis, we are passing two parameters. We have done methods with parameters. I hope everyone have remembered that method with parameters, that we have passing two parameters within the method, that within the braces. And every method, every class have a block or have a body. And how we declare a body, or how we declare a block? By using that curly braces, starting curly braces, and that ending curly braces. Whatever is available in within that within that starting curly braces and ending curly braces, that space is called the body, that method body or the method block. Within that block, am I calling that method? Within that method block, am I calling that method? No, we are just simply returning, because this is the integer type return type that we have mentioned, that's the integer type return, return integer type. That is why I am writing here, that is the return x plus y. I want to sum x and y. And within that method block, have I called that same method, that plus method, have I called? Hello?
No, sir.
No, I haven't called that method, because this is a normal method. But in the recursion method, in the recursive or in the recursive method, this is the special one again special method. That is, then what is the syntax that we have, that I have shown you, that is the syntax of declaring a creating a normal method. But what is the syntax of creating a recursive method? This is the same, that how we are creating a normal method, that is how we can create a recursive method also. But within the method block, we will call that method also. That like the normal method, static void, why void? I have told you already, that void, it will not return anything. Okay, that is the, it will not return any kind of integer or any kind of float or any kind of double, nothing it will return. So that is why I have mentioned that is a void method. And the normal way, we have create a method, then we have create a method block. And just because this is the void method, we are not returning anything, we are simply printing a message is hello. And just because this is a recursive method, this is the syntax, that and the syntax is, we need to call that method name within the method block. Like that block, that method p method block is starting here in the line number 2, and the method body is ending in the line number 5 with the ending curly braces. And within that method block, we are printing a message, with a message we are calling that method also. That p method we are calling within the p method block. That is the syntax of creating a recursive method. And you try to understand the logic, what will be the output when we will call that recursive method. What it will be the output, what it will be the output, what will be what it will return. So it will return when within the main method we need to call that method, because this is the normal method. So we need to call that method, then it will return anything. So when we are calling that method in that line number 8, we are calling that method. That means when we are calling that method in the line number 8, it will go from the line number 8 to line number 2. After going to the line number 2, after going to the p method, it will enter enter in the block of that method. When it will enter in the block of that method, it's seeing that there is a message printing, that we have print a message is hello. So it will print the hello. After printing the hello, when it is coming in the line number 4, it's seeing that I have called that method again within that method block. So it will again from the it after coming to the line number 4, when it will see that when it see that Java will see that in the line number 4 I have called that p method again. So again it will go directly to the line number 2. When it will again go to the line number 2, it will, after going to that method in the line number 2, it will enter in the block of that method. So in the after entering in the block of the method, again it is seeing that I have printed a message is hello. After printing hello, again it will come to the line number 4. When it is seeing that, when it's seeing that in the line number 4 that I have called that method again it will go to the line number 2. This is how that it will continuously, it will printing the hello, it is printing the hello continuously, because after printing hello, when it is coming in the line number 4, it's linked from line number 4. Here I have called that method again, so again it will go to the line number 2, again it will come to line number entering the block, again it is printing hello, again coming line number 4. This is the this continuously, this process is going continuously. Just because this process is going continuously, and it will continuously print hello, it will continuously print hello, it will never stop, because we haven't mentioned that how many times I want to print the hello. I haven't mentioned how many times we want to print the hello, or we want to call that method how many times. That I have simply called that method again and again, it will come, it will print hello, again it will come to line number 4, again it will go to the line number 2, again it will print hello, again line number 4, again go to the method. This is how it will work like that. It will work like it will work like a circle, and this that circle don't have any ending point, or any don't have any starting point. So it will continuously print hello, 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 hello. After printing this continuously, it will become infinite, because it will never stop. When it will never stop, it will become infinite. And that output will be, it will give after printing some hello up to the limit, after up to the limit, when that the id that id have some limit also, everything have a limit. When it will cross the limit, it will give an error, that is java.lang.stack overflow error. Understood now? Understood?
Yes, got it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So have you note that definition? That is the most important interview questions. What is the recursive method? And most of the interviewer is not able to give the answer properly. So please write down the definition with the syntax, and with that example, it will be very better if you practice this right now. So should I go to the next, or you want to write it down? Hello?
It's showing error at recursion. I mean, it's going infinite error.
Yeah, it is going infinite error.
Yeah.
So others, have you noted down, or should I go to the next example? Please respond. Hello?
Sir, next
topic.
Yes?
Next topic. Next topic.
Okay, going to the next topic. And just the previous example 1 is the infinite, and this is the finite times. Just in that previous example, we haven't mentioned that how many times we want to print the hello. Here we will mention that how many times we want to print that hello. So what is this is the basic syntax, basic simple. Public, we have created a public class recursion example 2, and that static int count equals to 0. Static int count equals to 0. This is the variable, static variable, integer type variable, and name of that variable is count, and the value I have assigned is 0. And we have created a method, a recursive method. How we have created a recursive method? That static void name of that method is p. Within that method block, count that integer type variable count plus plus. That means it is saying to count plus 1. If and we have mentioned if else, if count less than equals to 5, that means count, the value of count which I have give a value of count is 0. After that within the block, within the method block, we have declared that post increment operator plus post increment operator 2 plus 1 if the count less than or equals to 5, then only system.out.println hello plus count. That means the value of count. And this is the syntax that P, that because we need to, this is the, just because this is the recursive method, that means within that method block, that method is starting in the line number 3 and that method is ending in the line number 8. Sorry, not line number 8, it is ending in the line number 9. So within that method block, just because this is the recursive method, we need to call that method name within that method block. That is why we have called that method name, we have written that method name, we have called that method within that method block. And within, after creating and calling that recursive method, we have created that main method, and again, like the normal method, we have called that method P. So what will be the output? Can anybody tell me?
5 times hello.
Hello.
Yes,
5 times hello.
5 times of hello, and only the 5 times of hello. It will print
Hello, 1, 2, 3,
Count
4,
5,
5.
5.
yes,
And concatenation with
And-
hello plus 5.
and hello, no, not 5. Hello plus count, that means the value of count. And that count, what
Yes,
is the
yes.
count? Count is the name of the variable. And what
And
are
1,
the
2, 3, 4 like this.
Yes, it will print that output. Hello 1, hello 2, hello 3, hello 4, hello 5.
Yes, yes, yes.
Is it clear now? What is the difference? Why that example number 1, that is the infinite times example, why it is giving that java.lang.stack overflow error or the infinite error? Why it is giving that error? Is it clear now? By comparing, if you compare both the example, you can see in the example number 1, I haven't declared any kind of condition that how many times that hello I want to print. But in that example number 2, I have declared that the condition, if the value of count is less than equals to 5, then only system.out.println hello plus the value of count. That means 5 times we have declared that five times we want to print that hello. Is it clear now? Everyone, is it clear now? Is it clear how, what is the difference between that infinite example and a finite example, and why that in that infinite example, why it is giving that infinite error? Everyone note it down. So বরিশন বুঝতে পেরেছো? বরিশন, হ্যালো বরিশন, বরিশন, হ্যালো,
হ্যালো স্যার।
হ্যাঁ বুঝতে পেরেছো?
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ স্যার।
শিওর তো?
হ্যাঁ স্যার।
ওকে, so I'm going to the next topic. Can anybody tell me what is factorial number?
Factorial, 2 factorials mean 1 into 2. 3 factorial 1 into 2 into 3, like this.
Yes, that is the factorial. So this is the example of a factorial. This is the example of a factorial recursive method. So what we are doing, we have created a class recursion example 3, and we have declared a method. We have created a method static int factorial with a parameter type method. The previous example with non-parameterized, and this method is with the parameter. And what is the parameter? That parameter is integer type, and name of that variable is n. And within that method block, we have give a condition: if that value of n is double equals to 1, then only return 1. Else return n into factorial n minus 1, and return n into, that means the value of n and factorial and the parameters, that whatever the value of n, like here we have given 5 minus 1, n value of n, that means 1 value of n into 5, it will print that within that main method what we have written, system.out.println and factorial 5 is plus factorial, that value I have given is 5. It will, after when I am calling that method, and we are calling that method within the, we are not only calling that system.out.println, because this is the return type method, and the return type is integer. This is not a void type, this is not a void method. This is an integer type method that have a return type. This method have a return type is integer. So we are calling that method by writing that system.out.println, and we are printing a message factorial of 5 is plus factorial. So when that factorial method have been called, it will entering in the line, going to the line number 2 in the factorial method, and after going to the line number 2, it is entering in the body of that method, and we have declared a method that value, if that value of n is, the value of n is 5, is the value of n equals 5 is double equals to 1? No, it is became false. So then it is entering in the else part, and after entering in the else part, it is saying that value of n, what is that value of n? Value of n is 5 into factorial n minus 1, and factorial n minus 1 means 5 minus 1, which is 4. So it will return 5 into 4. That value of n is 5, and factorial n minus 1 is n minus 1. That means the value of 5 e minus 1, that means 4. So again, after printing 5 into 4, it will again go to that condition. It will again go to that condition. If that condition, it will check that value of n is became 4. It will check that value of 4 is double equals to 1. No, it will directly go to that else part. That means that value of 4 into n minus 1, that means 4 minus 1, that is 3. Again, it will go to that like that up to the value of n is became 1. When that value of n is became 1, and when it is entering in that if block, and it is checking that condition n is 1, value of n is became 1, and it will check that value of n is 1 is double equals to 1. Yes, it is the value of n is became double equals to 1. Then it will return the value 1, and then when that part is, if part is became true, it will not return, it will not enter in that else part. So it will print 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1, and that have then the factorial 5. And just because this is the factorial 5, that the value of 1, that we are by multiplying the value of n, it will become 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1 is 120. Understood, everyone?
Yes, understood.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Have you noted that program, or should I go to the next topic?
Sir,
Done.
one second, sir.
I'm done. Okay, it's all right.
Done, sir. I got output.
Okay.
I got a food. Factorial of 5 is 120.
Okay.
Yes.
Done, everyone? So I'm going to the next topic. This is the output, that the explanation of the factorial program, that 5 4 3 2 1, and it will return the multiplication. And class and objects, that's all in the recursion and the recursive method. So we are directly going to the abstract class. In the previous session we have, and the constructor part, have anyone have any doubt in the constructor part? That constructor, hello
I
everyone.
have doubt in a not constructor, abstract.
Abstract, we will do the abstract. We haven't completed in
Okay.
the last session, we haven't completed that abstract method. Anyone
Actually,
have any-
an error coming.
yeah, okay, we will do. Anyone
Okay.
have any problem in the constructor? Because construction again, today let me again do the constructor part again, just a revision. Okay, a constructor in Java is a special method that is used to initialize object. The constructor is called when an object of a class is created. A const that it can use to set initial value to the object attribute. So constructor is a special type of method, and you don't need to call a constructor. That constructor will call automatically. And what it will call automatically? In the time of the object, when time of creating an object, that constructor will automatically called. And in that example, we just, that public class main, we have declared a variable integer x, public main integer y, public main integer y, another method. This is the normal variable we have declared, integer type variable, and the name of the variable is x, and we haven't give any value to that integer variable. After declaring a variable, we have created a public method. Normal public method is public main with a parameter integer y. That is the name of that variable, a type of that variable, and this y is the name of that variable. And within that method block, within that method body, what we are doing, we are assigning the value of y that is available in the method parameter y, that variable name. We are assigning the value of y into the variable x, because when we have declared that variable integer x, we haven't give any value. So within that variable x, we are declaring the value of that parameter y that is available in the method parameter y. I am assigning the value into that x variable, and after that, just this is the special method, and that method we don't need to call it. It will call itself. When it will call itself? It will call itself in the time of object creation. And just because that method is a public method, without object we can't call that public method. So we need to create a object of that main class, that name main, that class. For that class we need to create an object. So what is the basic syntax of creating an object? That name of that class, then that name of that object that we want to give, and that object name can be anything. After giving that object name equals to, with the new keyword, we are calling that main method, that constructor. And that one thing, that constructor method, that just because this is the special method, that method name should be same as the class name, like that. Whenever you will see that a method having a name same as a class name, that means that method is not a normal method, that is a special type of method, and that special method called is constructor. And that name of that method name should be, have to be, not should be, have to be same as the class name. Like here in that example, that class name is main and that method name or name also is main, because this is a constructor, and that constructor we are not calling in the time of object creation. We are calling with that constructor is calling automatically, because this is the basic syntax of a creating of object. And that means in the time of object creation we are calling that method. And just because that constructor method having a parameter, integer type parameter, and that integer type parameter we haven't declared any value, that means we need to declare a value to that parameter. So we are just in the time of object creation that method is calling. That means in the time of object creation, when that constructor is calling, that time we need to give that value of that constructor parameter, and we have give that value is 5, and we are simply printing that system.out.println, and I am calling that public class by, just because this is a public class, public method, not a public class, or just because this is a public method, by using the name of that object or the object of that class, by using that name of that object with that object name, then we are calling that x variable. Why we are calling that x variable? Because within that constructor, within that x variable, we have assigned that value of y, and that value of y I have declared in that constructor parameter when that constructor have been called in that object creation timing, that is 5. That means that x is equals to y. That means we have that 5 is I have assigned to the x. So when I am calling that x, it will return the 5. Understood, everyone? This is the constructor that we have done in the previous.
Yes, understood.
Okay. Java modifiers have been done. Directly go to the abstract class. Abstract is the abstract class. Okay, this is the abstract class. What is the abstract? Abstract is a keyword or the method, and abstract method belongs, abstract is a keyword. That abstract is a keyword. By using it, the abstract keyword, we can make a class or a method, a abstract class or a abstract method by using that abstract keyword. An abstract method belongs to an abstract class and it does not have a body. The body is provided by the subclass. Every method have a that the curly braces open close. I have told you that the curly braces open and close, that is the body or the block of that method. But when we are creating an abstract method, that means that method is when that method became abstract, that abstract method don't have any block or don't have any body. That body and block both are the same. Someone says that the body of that method, or someone says block of that method. Okay, by using that abstract keyword, we can make a class or a method to an abstract class or an abstract method, and only a abstract class can have an abstract method. We can create an abstract method within a normal class, just like public class A or B or C, A, B, C, D, whatever, that normal class can't have a we can create a abstract method of an within a normal class. Only we can create a abstract method of a abstract class only, like the example that abstract class main. By using that abstract keyword, I have made that class a abstract class, and every class have a block, but if only the abstract method don't have any block or a body. I have created an abstract class main, and within that main abstract class, I have created public string f name equals to John. And that public string f name, this is the normal variable, that is a string type. F name is the variable name, John is the value of that variable. Again, I have created a variable, public integer type variable we have take, and that age is the variable name, 24 is the value of that age variable. And only within a abstract class we can create a abstract method. Like here, we can't create a abstract class, abstract method of a normal class. So just because this is a abstract class, within that abstract class I have created a abstract method by using that abstract keyword. Like the normal method, we will create that method, but before creating that method we need to declare that abstract keyword. Like here, public abstract void, because this is the return type void, that means it will not return anything, and name of that method is study. And look, that abstract method, because this is the abstract method, it don't have any block. Is that curly braces, open close curly braces is available here? I have I written that curly braces open close? No, I haven't, because this is the abstract method, and that abstract method don't have any body. And what is the use of then that abstract class? And this curly braces is the starting point of that class, main class block, and this curly braces is ending part of that abstract class. Okay, after that we are creating a normal class. We are creating a normal class, that is class student. We have created a normal class is student. This is not the abstract class, because we haven't declared that class as abstract, or we haven't write that abstract keyword. So it's become a normal class, that's class student. After creating a class student, we are extending main. And what is that main? Main means that name of that abstract class, name of that abstract class. And what is the extend keyword? Extend, this is that inheritance part. Extend means we are extending the main class, that main class, that main abstract class, we are extending it into the student class. That means we are extending that main class into that student class, and that student class is the subclass. This is the subclass of that abstract main class, that abstract main class. This is the main class, abstract main class, and this is the subclass. And this is the normal class we have created, and within the normal class we are extending the main class. That means we want to access all the datas, all the values, all the methods, that all the variable, whatever the variable, whatever the method is available within that main class, we can access this within that student class. And within that student class we have another variable. We have declared that public, that is the variable integer type, and that graduation year is the name of that variable, and 2008 is the value of that variable. And we are calling that method, we are calling that study method, public void study. Actually, we are not calling. Actually, we are, by calling that method, we are, what we are doing, that method, that abstract method don't have any body, because this is an abstract class, and that abstract method can only use to their subclasses only. Only that subclass of that abstract class having a subclass, that subclass, within that subclass we can assign that value, or we can use that abstract method, and we can give some values to that method. And like that, just because we can use that abstract method in the student class, so we are just calling, or we are calling a public void study, that study method, that abstract method we are declaring here. But here we are not writing that abstract keyword, because that abstract keyword we have created here, and we are using that abstract keyword, abstract method within that student class, with to their subclass of that main method, main class, to the main class. And we are simply printing system.out.println studying all day long. After that, this is the abstract method, and this is the subclass of that abstract method. That student class is the subclass of that abstract method. Okay. And those two method, abstract class, this is the abstract class, and this is the subclass of that abstract class. That subclass of that abstract class don't have that main method, that is public static void main. That means we need to create a separate class. So we have created a separate class, that is class second, and within that second class we have created that main method. That means this second class is the actual main class, where we can access all the classes by creating an object. By creating an object of that class, of that subclass, we can access that subclass is within that second class, that the second class is the main class, because that second class have that main method. Just because that second class is having that main method, that means that second class is the actual main method, and this is a separate class. And that student class, where we have extended that abstract main abstract class, that student class, that means that whatever the value, whatever the content is available in the abstract class, we have extended in the student class. And if I create an object of that student class in the main class, actual main class, by calling that name of that object, by calling that name of that object, I can access that student class within the second class. Is it clear? Am I clear to everyone? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, clear.
Yeah. Just because this is a separate class, in that student class is the separate class, and within that student class, we are inheriting all the datas by using extends all the datas of main abstract class. Whatever the content is available in the abstract class, we have put it into the student. We are accessing whatever the content is available in the abstract class, we have extended it into the student class. That means from student class we can access that student class. Along with that, by calling that student class, we can access the student class. Along with that, whatever the content is available in the abstract class, because that content is available in the abstract class, we have extended it into the student class. And that student class is the separate class, but it don't have any main method. So we have created another class, class second. Then I have created that, for that class second we have created that main method. So that just because of that main method, that second class is became the main class. And in that main class, we want to access that student class. That student class having the data of that abstract class, that student class we want to use, or we want to use all the data is available in the student class. We want to use that in the second class. So just because that second class and the student class, both are the different classes, so when we want to use the student class, that time we need to create an object of that student class. By creating an object to that student class and by using that name of that object, we can access all the data, all the content, whatever the content is available within that student class, we can access it by calling the name of that object within the second class. So in that main class, having with that main method, we have created a object of that student class. That student class, that is a different class. That student class, that where we have extended, we have inherited all the data of that abstract method. For that student class, we are creating an object, and the basic syntax of creating an object is name of the class. That name of the class, for we want to create an object, we need to give that class name first. That the name of that class name is student. We want to create an object for the student class, so we can access all the data is available in the student class. So we are creating the object of the student class. Name of the class is student. Then the object name, that object name is my obj. I have given that my obj. You can give anything, because name of that object can be anything. In the time of creating an object, you can give any name to that object. Then the equals to, then the new keyword, then again that is the student, that the parenthesis, that is the constructor we are calling. And actually we are not calling that constructor. Every class have a constructor. Every class have a constructor. We have declared, we have discussed about that in the previous session, that every class have a constructor. So this is the basic syntax. Name of that class, give a object name, then equals to new, then the constructor. And this way, if you are saying that constructor, this is a name of that class. Yeah, this is the name of the class. Because this, why we are saying that this is a constructor, because the constructor name and the class name should be same all the time. Every time have to be the same. So just because that braces is here, that means this is the method name, and that braces, that means this is the method. But that name is same as the class name, that means this is not a normal method, this is the normal method. This is not the normal method, this is a special method. Then, and what is the special method in Java? That is constructor is a special method in Java. That means that is the basic syntax of that creating an object. We are created an object. After creating an object, what we are doing, system.out.println myobj.fname, and that fname, where it is available, that fname is available in that abstract class is John. Again, system.out.println age myobj, that object name dot age, that age is available in that abstract class. Again, we are calling system.out.println graduation year my obj, that object name, and that graduation year, that variable name is where we have declared that graduation level, graduation year, that variable name is available in that student class, and it is 2018. And again, my obj.study, we are just calling that my obj.study. That means we are calling that study method, that abstract method we are calling. When it will call, what it will return, anyone can tell me? Hello, anyone can tell me what will be the output of that program?
John.
Tell me.
Yes, name, then John, and then age 24.
হ্যাঁ,
and graduation year 2018. This will
and
return.
and again
And
we have
the
called
studying
that,
all day long. That
yes,
will
that we have called again that the study method, that is that the abstract method. Only the subclass in the definition, the body is provided by subclass. Look, a abstract method belongs to an abstract class, that we all understood, and it does not have a body. Abstract method does not have any body. The body is provided by the subclasses. That abstract class, within that abstract class we are creating a abstract method. Only a abstract class can have a abstract method, and that abstract method don't have any body. So every method should have a body, but abstract method don't have a body. So we need to give a body to that abstract class. Where and when we will give that body to that abstract class? To the subclasses. Like here. Here we have created the abstract method within that abstract class. Here we have give any body, but where we should give a body to that abstract class? Within the subclass of that abstract class. That is the abstract class, and that student class is the subclass of that abstract class. This is the abstract class, and that student class is the subclass of that abstract class. And where we will give the body of that abstract method? In the subclass. In the definition that written in the definition, where we will declare, where we will give the body to that abstract method? In the subclass. So like here we have give that public void study, that is the abstract method. We have declared over here as an abstract method. In the subclass of that abstract class, we have declared a body to that abstract class. Write it in the definition that where we can declare the body, we will declare the body of that abstract class to the subclass of that abstract class. And what is the subclass of that abstract class? The student class is the subclass of that abstract class main. That abstract class is having a name is main. That main abstract class, that name of that subclass of that abstract class main is student. And within the subclass, we are declaring the body, we are giving the body to that abstract method. Understood everyone? And within the body, we are passing a message that is studying all day long. Everyone understood that abstract method, or anyone have any doubt? Hello? Hello?
No, sir.
Anyone have any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay, so please note it down. This is a very, very important example, and this is a very, very important topic. That is the abstract. This is the very, very important topic. Everyone, please note it down that what is the definition, what is that abstract method, what is that abstract. Please note that definition, and please try to practice. Everyone note that example line by line properly exam, and try to practice it yourself. Otherwise you will forget what is the abstract, and you will not get the logic of that abstract class, how it is working, how it is calling, how we are giving that body of that abstract method, where we are declaring the body of that abstract method, where we are extending that abstract method, why we are extending that abstract method. Everything is clear now? Everything is clear now? And everyone have noted down, have completed, you have noted down that program.
স্যার ডেফিনেশনটা একবার যাবে।
ডেফিনেশনটা আরেকবার দেখাবো। হ্যাঁ দেখো, সবার program সবাই everyone have note down the example. Hello, everyone have noted
Yes,
down the
sir.
example. Okay, so I'm going to the next topic. Okay, because it's already 128.
স্যার একটু নামান।
হ্যাঁ, এখানে এখানে হয়েছে?
স্যার একটু একটু
হয়ে গেলে বলবেন।
ইয়েস স্যার, কমপ্লিট স্যার, কমপ্লিট।
So the next topic is Java encapsulation. What is the encapsulation? The meaning of encapsulation is sure that encapsulation is to make sure that sensitive data is hidden from user. To achieve this, you must declare a class variable attribute as private, provide public get and set method to access and update the value of a private variable. Encapsulation, it what is encapsulation? Encapsulation makes is to make sure that the sensitive data, that some data in your program that is the very sensitive data that you don't want to show to the everyone, show to the user, that you don't want to show to the user, that data, if you want to hide it, that sensitive data, if you want to hide it from the user, we do the encapsulation. So for doing the encapsulation, we will declare up to that, in the up to that example, we have declared a variable or the attribute as public. So everyone can access and see that variable. But when we are doing that encapsulation, in the time of encapsulation, when we will declare a class variable, we will declare it, instead of public, we will declare it as a private. And that private data, private variable, we can change and update the value by using get and set method. Get and set method. We learned from the previous chapter that private variable can be accessed within the same class. If we have declared in the previous sessions, in the previous chapter, we have learned that private variable can be accessed only within that class only. We can't access that private variables to the another class. Okay, just like we have created three different classes, and we are extending the data, or we are, by creating that object, we are calling that variable, we are accessing that variable, we are giving that value to that variable, because those are the private variables. That is why we are able to access from another class we are able to access those variables to the another class. But when we are declaring that variable as a private, we are not being able to access that private data to the another class. Okay. However, it is possible, it outside the class has no access to it. However, it is possible to access them if we provided public get and set method. It is only possible when we are providing that public get and public set method. Okay, the get method returns the variable value and set method sets the value. What get method? That get and set both are the method, that is the predefined method, or in Java that is get and set. What is the use of get? What is get do? What get do? The get method returns the variable values and that set method set the value. Get return the value, set the value. Okay, and what is the syntax? We have created a class, public class person, that is a normal class, and within that class block we have declared a variable that is private type, because we are doing that in encapsulation, and in encapsulation is used for hiding the sensitive data that we don't want to show to the user. That data we don't want to show to the user. For that we use encapsulation, and in that encapsulation, instead of public variable, public type variable, public access specifier, we will declare this as a private string name. That variable type is prior string and that variable name is name, and we are getting the data. What get do? Get is method return the values to the variable. Public string get name. Okay, this is the get. You are that name of that variable, before that name of that get name, and return that method get method using that get method get name, and we are returning that name string private name. That is the variable name, that private, we have declared this as a private. Within the get method we are returning that name, and public void set name string new name, and this dot name equals to new name. This is the syntax of getting and setting a variable. Getting a value, and for update we will set a value. That public void set name string new name, this dot this, that means this method, that this, or that this method, this means this is belongs to that parent method only, and that parent method is that name method. This dot name equals to new name, that name. Another example explain. Look, that get method return a value to that variable name. The set method takes the parameter that new name and assign it to the name variable. Like here, that set name string, because this method, this sorry, not the method, this variable is a string type variable. That private variable we have declared, that is a string type variable. Just because this is a string type variable, we are setting a name that is the string type equals to new name, and that is the parameter string type parameter, and name of that parameter is new name. This dot name equals to, we are equals to new name. That means we are assigning the value to that name variable, that is a private type, to the that new name. We are value of that new name, we are assigning it to the private name variable. Understood? Hello?
Yes, understood.
Hello, sir. Can you explain again, sir?
Okay, I can. This is the normal class we have created. Here in the when you are doing that encapsulation, you need to declare a variable that you don't want to show to the user. That variable you need to declare as a private. So we have declared that string type variable, that name of that variable is name, and I haven't give any value to that name, and I have declared that variable as private. And when you are using that private, that means that what is the definition? You just go to the definition. Private provided public get and set method to access and update the value of a private variable. A private variable, when you are declaring a private variable, that means you can't update or you can't get that value variable. So for get that variable and update that variable, you need to use that get and set. Like that, we are using that getter, that is the method, is the getter method, and the setter method. Having a method, having a name is getter method, and that setter method. We are getting, first of all, we need to get that method name, we need to get that value of that method. Then we need to set, that means we need to set a new value to that method. By using that getter, we are getting that value. By using the setter, we are setting or updating the value. Like, and how, this is the basic syntax, that public string get name. Why string? Because this name, that value, that private variable, that is a string type. That's why that public string type variable string we have take get name, and this is the get name is the name of that method, that is the inbuilt method of Java, get method, get name. And within that get method block, we are returning, this is a string type, so we are returning that name. Whatever the value is available in the name, we want to return that value of that name. By using that get is the method, that name is the name of that variable, that get is the get method, that name is that name of that variable. But this is the way we are getting a method, that in here we have declared a small, but in the time of getting that name, you should have to mention that name as capital, because Java is very case sensitive. That time, that name of the in of that name have to be capital. And we are returning that after getting that name, that private variable name, after getting that, within that getter method, that is the getter method, and that is the setter method. With that, we are creating a syntax of getter method is public, the type of that variable is string, that is how it is string. We are getting that, getting what, getting that variable name, oh sorry, getting that name variable, that name private variable. So we are getting get and then the name, and that name in should be capital here, that name should be capital here. When this is the syntax, that name should be always like, when time of, in the time of naming a variable, that in or a or b have to be like smaller. Like that, when we are getting that private variable, after using that get, we need to write that name of that private variable, that name, that private variable, that is the name of that variable that we want to access, or we want to get. That in have to be capital. Then this is that method block, this that get and set. What is that get and set? I have told you that get and set, those are the inbuilt method in Java, getter method and the setter method. Get method, set method. Get method, getting that value of that name. So we want to get the value of what, we are want to get the value of that variable. So we are declaring that name of that variable, that name of that variable, that variable name of the variable, that value we want to get. So we have name is name. then that braces that block of that method, and within that block, this is not a void method, this is a string type method. That means it will return a string, and we are returning that string name, that name variable we are returning. So it will return the name, whatever the value is available in the name. Here we